my recipes are tweaked. I get them from wherever, but I tweak them. And I've got one recipe that I didn't get from anywhere. I just totally made up off the top of my head. And that sounds like a lot of fun. Brewing is a creative thing. When you brew, you're bringing small little animals, entities to life. It's yeast. Yeast is what turns your sugar into alcohol. Now I'm going to pick this up and move it over to my, a little left in there. Pick this up. But you're turning these little yeast, these living entities, into alcohol. You're turning sugar into alcohol. So you're actually creating life. Really cool experience. Really cool experience. Just no doubt about it, really cool experience. Don't underestimate brewing. Something a friend of mine said, Mike said one time, if you want really good beer, or you want really good wine, put your carboy in the bedroom. Why? Because you see it every day, you're close to it, you're next to it, you care about it. You kind of have to care about it, you kind of have to care about it, you kind of have to know about it, you have to talk to it. I know it's a little crazy, but sometimes I talk to my bro. Just care about it. It's a cool thing that you're doing. Alright, I'm going to light my fire. Turn the gas on. One of these long lighters is definitely an advantage. I lit this first with matches and burned my finger. Alright. So I light it first to be safe, and then I open the valve. Woo! A little bigger than I wanted. But I got it back down to size. Alright. Watch your foot, hon. Now. Alright, this is where it gets really, really fun, interesting. We're going to add hops. Okay. First things first, we bring it to a full boil. Then we start adding the hops. Here's how it's going to work. I got Columbus hops. They are 14.4% IBUs, which is International Bitterness Units. Arbitrary units, but that's what the brew stores use. Columbus should be somewhere between 13 at the low end, 15 at the high end. They should be real close. They should be real close to 13. 14.4 is not too bad. Don't want to let it get too hot. Don't want to let it get too cold. I'm going to stick my thermometer in here. When it gets to about 212, I'm going to take my thermometer out because I know it's about to boil. Now, you'll notice in the recipes it says boil for 60 minutes. Boil for 60 minutes. Don't turn your heat on and start your timer. Boil for 60 minutes. Wait for those bubbles to start coming in, then your timer starts. Now what we're going to do here is I went to the brew store and bought 1 ounce of Columbus hops. And what I did is I need to separate it between flavoring hops or bittering hops and aroma hops. The way I did is 0.6 ounces is flavoring or bittering and 0.4 ounces is aroma. Now, I have a scale inside that breaks it down by ounces. Buy one. I got mine at Target. It was $20 or something along those lines.
Don't twirl your spoon.
I dropped this. I'm going to wash it and sanitize it. Never mind. Okay, so I would really get a scale that breaks down the hops or breaks down by ounces, because I measured out 0.6 ounces of Columbus for bittering and 0.4 ounces of Columbus for aroma. The way I do this, once this hits boiling, it's actually boiling, bubbling and boiling, I'm going to put in 0.6 ounces of Columbus hops. Now, let me back up. That's not quite true. As soon as this hits boiling, I'm going to wait 15 minutes, put in 0.6 ounces of Columbus hops, so I can have those Columbus hops boil for 45 minutes. Then, when you're 55 minutes into your boiling time, 5 minutes before you take it off, I'm going to throw in the other 0.4 ounces of Columbus hops, and those are going to give me that aroma. Now, this is a simple recipe. Normally, your aroma hops and your bittering hops will be different. Sometimes you'll have 2 bittering hops. Sometimes you'll throw in a Columbus first, let that boil for, throw that in at 15 minutes. 15 minutes later, you might throw in a Liberty hop. Whatever hops you like, that's up to you. Go to the brew store and smell them. Columbus is a nice, generic, general hop. If you're growing hops, it'd be great to grow a Columbus hop. So that's kind of where I'm coming from there. Again, I went to the brew store and bought 1 ounce. 0.6 goes in after 15 minutes of boiling. 0.4 goes in 5 minutes before I shut the whole thing down. Little word on hops. This BrewPal thing is great because it tells you the bitterness units. This is an Irish Red, a lighter beer than I normally make because I normally do Irish Stouts. It's 22 IBUs, International Bitterness Units. My Irish Stout was 33 IBUs. I have made a lot of beers that are too bitter. One thing that will almost always make your beer too bitter is letting the hops boil for a whole hour. Pretty much, you want to throw your first bittering hop in at about 15 minutes through the boil. You never really want that first bittering hop to go a full hour. You always want it to go 45 minutes. Sometimes you'll throw one in, let it go 45 minutes, throw another in 15 minutes later and go half an hour. And then your aroma hops, you always want to throw in the last 5 minutes if that. Another thing you can do, great friend who makes wonderful beer of mine says, as soon as you reach your 1 hour, throw in those aroma hops, turn the whole thing off, stir it a little bit, the aroma hops have had enough time, and I think he's right. Aroma hops don't have to be in there very long. They give it that aroma. Here's another thing. When you're drinking beer, if you're judging it or you're really appreciating it, tasting it for the first pour it into a glass and smell it first. And there is actually it's a 50-point beer judging scale and a 20-point beer judging scale. Excuse me. I would strongly suggest using both of those to appreciate beer more. It's interesting, when I do that, I can do Guinness, or I can do Coors Light or Bud Light, and put them on that scale, and you'll notice that something like a Coors Light or a Bud Light or a Miller Light is going to rank very low, close to unacceptable, with me unacceptable. Whereas like Killian's may be about halfway, Guinness may be, for me, because I'm a fan of stouts, Guinness was really pretty high. An Irish stout that I made was actually the highest I've ever done. A person I know at Great Fermentations gave me the recipe. I don't know him that well because I don't know his name. I just know he works there, but it's a great recipe. Best Irish stout I ever had. It got it perfect. 50 out of 50, 20 out of 20 on the 2 scales. It's really great to judge your beers because if you judge your beers, you'll know what you like and how to make it better. It doesn't matter what I like. It doesn't matter what the public likes. It matters what you like because you're making beer that you're going to drink. It's great that you give it to your friends and your friends say it's wonderful because I have that. A lot of friends really like what I make and that's great. I'm ultimately not making it for my friends, making it for myself. So, little bit of a tangent, and my lovely wife. Little bit of a tangent, let's get back on topic. I am boiling this. I'm just waiting for the temperature to get high. Remember, I ran the sparge water, 3.8 gallons at 180 degrees through that to wash all of those extra sugars off. I put it in here. It looks like my brew pot is almost full. That's why you need a 9 or 10 gallon brew pot. And now I'm just waiting for it to boil. As soon as it boils, we're going to go a little bit more into hops, and I will see you at the next segment.